3 Santa Barbara. She was the even money favorite in the marathon at Santa Anita. A mile is where she belongs. In the grade 2 World Heron, 2 back. In a 133 and 3, she was coming home pretty fast with Mike Smith. Mikey takes over again tomorrow. And Richard Mandela is the trainer here. Mandela is really been good on the turf lately. He's 19% this season. Everything and the numbers goes right. He's 20% in stakes, Richard is. So Tapwater is a mare tomorrow that is Mikey's gonna have some interesting decisions. You know, she can run on the lead or near the lead, or she can come from mid pack. And depending upon with some of the other runners in here who may be of longer price and maybe of more diminishing or less chance, you know, Mikey can sit Tapwater kind of where he wants to and then pounce. This is going to be my pick to win the Osunitas is the number 4 Tapwater. The number 5 Ipoldamia's Girl is also trained by Richard Baltus. This is the second in here. And Ipoldamia's Girl does have a win on Del Mar's turf. She also ran in the Osunitas, but back in 2019, she was up the track. She wasn't very good that particular year, but she did win at Santa Anita a flat mile for an optional claimer at a 135. And then she was thrown to the wolves in the John Maybe, the grade 2. It was a grade 2 then, and she was 105-1. Obviously, wasn't going to probably do any running there. But then back with, you know, lesser company, she did win a flat mile at Santa Anita with Flavian Pratt on board. And then in the Rural Heron and the Wilshire, she ran a decent race in the grade 3 Wilshire last time. She was 10-1. She ran even, only missed by 2 lengths with Joe Bravo. Then Joe Bravo is in town, actually going to be riding this meet, and Joe Bravo is back on her again tomorrow. She's a 6-year-old mare by the Stormcat stallion Stormy Atlantic. So I'm going to pass on Ipoldamia's Girl as well. You know, I think the running style does not fit here, even though she has a win on Del Mar's turf. You know, like I said, I think there's others in here with better recent form. And like I said, if I use 5 horses in here, which I may, but she's not going to be one of them. The number 6 is Dynasty of Her Own. Now, she's trained by Jonathan Wong. Now, for those of you who do not know Jonathan Wong, he is a very, very outstanding high percentage conditioner racing up in Northern California, Golden Gate Fields, the Fair Circuit, and whatnot. He was what Jerry Hollendorfer was doing back in the day. So Jonathan Wong, 24% this year. He's been around somewhere around 9-10 years, if I remember right. I've never seen Jonathan Wong, 16, 17, 15%. He is always at least 23, 22%. Sometimes I've even seen him as high as 30% at some meets. So he is a very, very capable trainer on dirt and on turf. He's 19% going from sprint to route. At this type of layoff or this type of gap between races, 31 to 60 days, he's 26%. He's a whopping 32%, Jonathan Wong is, with runners who won their last start. And the 6 Dynasty of Her Own won her last start. And then he's absolutely outstanding at 26% in routes. Or routes, however I say routes a lot of times, but it's routes. But coming out of a lot of sprints, he only has one turf try where she was off the board at Golden Gate in the Camellia Urso. I remember that race when I lived up there. And he was a fast closing 5th. I keep saying he. She's a she. She's a fast closing 5th and only missed by 2 lengths. But the sprint races that she comes out of are dynamite. Now, I look at her Tomlinson figures for turf and distance on turf. Now, when I look at Tomlinson figures, I like to see both of them high, because to me it really doesn't make sense for you can have a low turf figure as a whole, but then on the turf at the distance, you may have a decent figure. And a 266 for a turf for her compared to a 329, which is decent for distance on the turf. I don't understand that. I more gravitate to turf period on the turf. The overall turf Tomlinson number, and 266 is very low to me, and that tells me that she's not bred really smartly or royally for the turf. And like I say, this is not a grade 1 or anything like that. It's a contentious field, but you don't have to be bred like like Saratoga 6 to be to be considered here to win. But I'm not going to use her. But I do want to mention Jonathan Wong, coming down from the Bay Area. He's brought Kyle Fry, the rider, with him. So this is going to be very interesting. Dynasty of Her Own is going to probably be on the lead, coming out of 5.5 furlongs and 5 furlong sprints. Don't be surprised if this 4-year-old filly by Shanghai Bobby is around somewhere at the finish. The number 7 is Candura. She's a 5-year-old mare by Into Mischief. And Trevor McCarthy is going to ride. Trevor McCarthy, along with Joe Bravo, is another rider from the Eastern Circuit that's come west to try, just try to establish, brought their tack out to the West Coast to see what they can do. Like I said in another broadcast, I'm not sure that if especially for Joe Bravo, is it going to be permanent till the end of his career, or even with Trevor McCarthy, what is he going to do? I'm just thinking that some of that decision had to do with his wife riding sometimes in the same race, and the entry having to be as a coupled entry, and I know that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. So I'm thinking that Trevor just say, look, let me try something, let me go west and see what I can do. I'm thinking that had to be some part of the reason why Trevor is out here. But nevertheless, the 7 Candura is 3 for 4 lifetime, and she is actually broke her maiden at Del Mar on the turf. It was at 5 furlongs. It was a straight maiden. Drayton Van Dyke had her that day as the favorite, and she drew off and won by 3/4 of a length. She made a fast move down the stretch and could have won by more. And then, she was thrown in a minor stake and did not run too well. And then she has been campaigning at Oaklawn, of course, on the main track, because Oaklawn does not have turf. And so she went 2 for 2 at Oaklawn. So now John Sadler, who I expected Tyler Bays to be on this particular horse, but I'm looking at the Tomlinson figures here, and they are dynamite. A 348 for an overall turf and 411 for distance. This runner is going to love Del Mar turf. Remember, she already broke her maiden here. She's better now. She's sharp. She had 279 buyers at 6 furlongs coming off the main track. Now she's going back to the turf. That was on April 25th was her last run. So now, Sadler is looking, he's pointing this horse to this particular race. 12-1 on the morning line. This runner, this filly, this mare will be bet down somewhere around 8 or 7-1, believe you me. But still, nevertheless, you should get a good price of this mare, who has some nice Tomlinson figures for the turf. She will be in my pick 4 or pick 5, no doubt. The number 8 is She's So Special. She's a 4-year-old filly by Hardspun. Now, Peter Miller is the trainer, and Abel Cedillo is going to ride. Abel Cedillo has an outside chance of winning the title. He is a very, very capable rider. He has some other incentives going on. If you read the Racing Form and the Del Mar website, you'll know what I'm talking about. But Abel Cedillo can ride. He was the rider when Maximum Security came out here, when Luis Saez was not available. So, like I said, he's a very, very capable rider. Rides somewhere around 15 or 16%, which is really good when you have Flavian and Umberto and Hernandez riding at above 20%. So, very, very capable. Peter Miller is probably the most cagey trainer on the circuit. Breeders' Cup winning trainer. Very, very good. Very, very classy too. And so, Peter Miller is like I said, he's pretty much dynamite. Dynamite as a trainer. This filly here does have a second on Del Mar's turf. She ran 4th in the Grade 2 San Clemente last year. That is a dynamite race. The buyer is a little low at 82, but the competition was good. There were 10 runners there. She had the rail. Flavian had her that day, and like I said, she down on the rail. Most horses, when they break from the 1, 2, or 3 hole on the turf, the turns are tighter. They get squeezed a little bit, and they start pulling, and they become rank, and that is what actually happened to She's So Special in the San Clemente last year. The Grade 2 Monrovia down the old bad habits. I was getting ready to say down the hill at Santa Anita. They don't run that no more. Although, ladies and gentlemen, there is talk that they're going to bring back the hillside turf course at Santa Anita. But for now, in this race and how it's been in the recent past, the 6.5 furlongs at Santa Anita has been run on the flat, across the dirt track. And She's So Special was there last time at odds of 13-1. JJ Hernandez had her last time. She ran pretty much a dull race. But now I think coming to Del Mar, stretching back out to a mile, and even she's run a good race in the dirt at a mile or in the synthetic at Golden Gate. So She's So Special should make a better account of herself tomorrow or in the Osunitas at Del Mar. The last runner I'm going to talk about here, obviously rounding out the field, is the 9 Brooke. She's this 5-year-old mare is a Chilean bred. And she's the only one or one of 2 runners in the race who do not have a Del Mar form. So she's a grade 1 winner in her native Chile, and she's also a grade 3 winner. So she's very, very classy. She's banked $100,000 lifetime. She's 5 for 10 lifetime with 8 of 10 in the money. Umberto Ruspoli, who I have described as the best grass rider on the Southern California circuit, is in the saddle tomorrow. Michael McCarthy is the trainer. And I think the outside, though, is going to hurt this mare. She has speed. She is going to draw outside of other speed. But if she gets a good position going around the turn, it's kind of a short run, to the first turn at Del Mar in a mile. They're not coming out of the chute like a mile and a 16th or a mile and an 8th. So it's hard to say. I may use her, but it's if she definitely had the 5 hole or something like that, she would be an automatic use for me. But I think I'm going to pass because I'm trying to run the race in my head. I know like many of you do, and I'm running the race in my head right now, and I can see her, if not going wide, I can see Umberto trying to take back and losing ground, and she's going to make a run for home. It's not any doubt about that. But I'm thinking it might be a little late, and I don't want her as a forward place runner. I don't want her to be maybe too far back. I don't want it to take the starch out of her to try to keep up, and then she tries to make some type of a Castroma move, which she's not. And then she may come up short. So I think I'm going to pass right now. I'm going to say that I could see something different or feel something different because I am going to Del Mar tomorrow, and I will be there in person. And if something rubs me a particular way and I feel something, I can put a nice little win bet on her or put her in some type of exacta if I start to feel different, or maybe one of these horses inside of her scratch, especially if the 6th dynasty of her own scratches, then she will be a player to me. So that's it for the Osunitas and 9 runners. I'm going to tell you the horses I'm going to use in the my pick 4. I'm going to use the 1 Heather's Gray, the 2 Setamar. I'm going to also use the 4 Tapwater, who is my top pick, and I'm going to use the 7 Candura. Those are the 4 I am going to use. I'm going to throw out, like I say, Brooke. Dynasty of her own is a runner I do like, but I need to see how things are playing early before I decide to put her in that particular sequence of my pick 4 or pick 5. So I have come up with a change of plans, ladies and gentlemen. I am going to not put the San Diego handicap analysis on this particular episode. I am going to end this episode with just the Osunitas. I don't want it to be too long. I want you to be able to just turn on one particular episode and get one particular race. There are 9 runners. If it was like 4 or 5, maybe 6 runners, I could probably squeeze them in. But good thing Del Mar is here and Santa Anita is not, because there are nice fields at Del Mar. Expect that